This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So good morning, good evening to everyone, guys. So let us get started. Yeah.
Morning.
Let me share my desktop. So we talked about different types of prompts, right? Like zero shot, few shot, and fine tuning part. Yeah. I think we talked about them with some examples. Now let us talk about other prompts. Yeah. In this particular, yeah, I mute. Yeah. So in these other prompts, we could able to say single we provide some input and we expect
Sir, you are breaking.
just one response. Right? I repeat.
Sir, you are badly breaking, sir. We can't hear you.
Oh God. So can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Now I
Sridhar?
can hear you. Yes, now I can hear you.
It's okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So I was trying other. You know, let me open that. Yeah. So here we
Start
have
recording, sir.
a single shot prompt where for a given
Did we
input
start recording?
I started that. I guess. Sridhar. Yeah. Fine. Single shot means some input. It's a general prompt actually. In a sense, for any given input, we expect the corresponding. For example, calculate the result for C with arithmetic addition, whatever, right? The simple example. Or you can get me the list of countries, globe. They are the simple. Yeah. Now let us talk about dialogue prompt, where conversation would take place between two or between or among speakers. Yeah. So which means one so answers can come from other person. So that's where we'll see some example. Then
Maximus, morning. Sir, still your voice is breaking.
yes, please.
Sorry.
It's break.
Yeah, in between, right? Important words itself, it is dropping out.
Mhm. Yeah, let's see for some more time, Ramesh.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, Ravi. So yes, I was trying to
Sure,
talk
sir. Go.
about.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, right? Yeah. So we are trying to talk about we specify based on that we expect corresponding response. For example, get me all the states associated to one country. So country name or country code is going to be the input. We'll get the result based on that. It's just like a where clause, right? So we can have n number of conditions, yeah? And those conditions could be, let's say, one line, or it could be multiple lines, or it could be based on what iterative conditions. Yeah. So it could be based on any condition or set of conditions. Yeah? Now the next is what inference. Inference means base, now, which means we can come up with the conclusion based on a given input. Yeah. So for example, let's say there are a number of countries which are based on, let us say, one global top level country. Yeah. So which means other countries are derived from their base country. Is it is all other stock markets, right? Yes, sir. An example. Yeah. So we can just in that we can draw other country based on mother stock example. Yeah. So industry, many products produced based on one mother, especially in the context of mechanic. Even you can also extend or medical equipments. Yeah. So that's one of the inference. Inference is base, yeah, based on which other things would happen. This could be a product or even for any industry. Yeah. And now the next type of prompt is what question answering specific answer to a question. In a sense, we provide a specific and then we expect the response based on that particular specific. So that is when it comes to this prompt, we should always think of asking very specific question. If not, so we can derive from if you are not the domain or any technology. Yeah. Well, different types of other prompts. Yeah. So let us, yeah. So here you can see description for each of those other prompts. Example, single shot prompt where we can just mountain or river or lake or any top level person. So it's a single shot prompt. So based on that, you'll get response. Yeah? There's one more example. Generate a story about a time traveling detective. You know, or we can ask many questions of this kind, right? Now, another prompt is what dialogue prompt, where we can one person can ask question, other or some other group of people can respond to that. So, can you help me book a hotel room? Or somebody is also answering here, which is who somebody here, GP. So, which means what do you call question to take place between the GPT and user, or we can also have one user with. So that also could happen, but in reality we are using right, which is chat GPT, which in turn would refer up robo, right? So again, second question: I need a room in New York from May 15th, whatever, right? Question from GPT. I found several options for whatever. Yeah. So, but it's not real time, guys. Dialog prompt is not realistic in reality because GPT up to the latest date. Yeah. Especially dialog prompt. Normally we use it for so that may not work with ChatGPT. Remember that. But hence this will be more effective, which is a dialog prompt. With the world data, we can ask questions. So, you just still breaking Sridhar, Ravi,
Yes,
Santosh,
sir.
Suresh, and Ramesh.
It's breaking in between.
Okay, is it a normal break or it's a severe break, Sridhar? So because it's not that great, right? I think it's better to continue because it's, everything right. Yes, Sridhar, you can take a call. So is it
Yeah,
No, in between we can't hear you. Then we're
right.
dropping.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Some times it is dropping. Otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah,
a severe problem or you can just still manage?
I think we can manage.
Then what to do? If we still have signal, then we'll just call it off. Yeah. Okay, Sridhar.
No, we can continue, sir. We can continue.
Yes, sir.
We
We
can
can
manage.
manage, sir. I kept the volume high, and it's better actually. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, okay, fine. So now we can start with what prompt. Yeah, limitation with dialogue is what in the sense available GP tools in the market. Yeah. So conditional prompt. Yes, based on the condition, we expect the response. But again, this also works for what existing date till 2022 or 2021, depending upon how models have been trained, till what date. Till that only it will work. Yeah, generate a list of something recipes that don't require cheese or whatever, right? That's prompt. Also see one more condition here. The latest scientific studies on climate change. You know, again, second, so we normally expect what this scientific study based on latest climate 10 years back or 20 years back, right? Usually, but sometimes study based on what. So, yeah. but latest will not get it, but get it. This data we are just asking for a question, it will respond based on that data. That's what GPT does that. Querying, it's not that easy, but asking question is very easy. But getting the proper response, so that's where this AI is going to play a very key role. Yeah? Deep learning, there are different learning techniques. Right? Now the next question, we have got inference prompt. Yeah? So where we can see base. So based on that particular top level additional prompt, rest will be derived. So that's where we use what inference. Yeah? Example of a major California next year. This question will be answered based on the past experience of GPT. Remember, because we train, right? So based on that trained data, it is going to major earthquake. Right? Then another question based on recent polls, who is a front runner for the upcoming presidential election? You know, these things will change, right? Whenever political faculty, you know, this should be up to date actually. You know, so this will work with yes. Basically, we expect based on the latest date. Yeah, but about other prompts, uh, what what are the key elements that we all need to consider creating a prompt? A prompt. Yeah. So this we need to concentrate, guys. You know, the first thing we have what context. So in the sense on which we are trying to ask question. Data warehousing. Example. If you want to be very specific, let's say analysis. If you analysis within that type of attribute that we expect. So that way we can change the content what level of that is expected by the business. Right? So for example, data warehousing is going to context. Yeah? So expert persona here we role or expertise. Remember, say we already have got the base in letter. You know, we need to have on the area where we are going to key in the question. Yeah. So let us say ask me to write some question. I'm very weak. I'm not the right person. So that's why we should be asking question. It is remember that. Yeah. Then verbs. So guide the output required. So which means what? Through which guide the output. Which means it is what we expect. Yeah. So like we expect the result in the target, which means format and structure whatever. For example, expect what tabular form. Some will expect some will expect simple. Some others will expect what and text. So depending upon what we expect, which is we'll get the result. It all depends on what like expectation while building a prompt. Yeah? What expectation? One of the expectation. Yeah. So task and objective. So remember, try to build a prompt. We'll have what an objective. Yeah. So we need to set an objective like a description and goals. Yeah. Set it based on the response. For example, so we need to calculate the exposure based on what any investment bank. Example. Here the task is calculation of exposure. We use this particular key element mode for output. And for example, let us say so depending upon customer accordingly we need to provide not provide the prompt voice. It all depends on how we get the response from the counterpart. So, but GPT is not sentimental. So, which means so we don't need to care about yeah, to build. One is also GPT would take care of it. Target, yes. A to post message which can spread across multiple parts of the globe. In that case, what are the target people? So, for example, business people are a sort of question, and cinematic people, some other sort of question, whatever. So, depending upon audience, one can start building a prompt. So, reference, guys, there are lots of references. One, second, pre-built story. So, but as a what do you call what do you call sources because that should be but but from our a prompt, let's say referring some reference link. So based on we can also build a prompt. Yeah. For example, let us say uh, innovation that has happened using example. Now that's going to be the what we call reference for us build a prompt. Or let us say there is IEEE transaction software engineering is one of the journal. So that will be taken as a base to build a prompt. So that's source. That is from journal perspective. Or we can also have some small things like white papers, references, or they all going to act as what? Likewise, you can think of many. For example, is going to form a new what you call manufacturing industry. So for them, the sources should be their business. In manufacturing industry, they are going to take care of forging along with what shop floor or by using conveyor. Then only from those four items perspective only they'll just refer other company, not all relevant things as base sources. Yeah? So training. You know. Now the purpose of this key element, guys, while building without purpose, blindly if you try to ask question, so you may not get what you call product. So that is why purpose is going to be the major thing building a prompt, which means goals or intention why we are trying to. Then keywords, terms and concepts. For let's say we are in data warehousing, so we need to understand terms and corresponding concepts. So let's say we have got healthcare industry, then HIPAA standards, all that we need to understand. Then if you go to banking industry and if you're so like we have a Bessel specification within each Bessel specification like 1, 2, whatever, right? We need terms understand. Depending upon the type of context that we do. So we need to make sure we are very clear on and just ask the right question. Remember that. Clear, guys? Yeah. You can also see called notes. Notes is optional, but so that also will be taken as in discussion. Tell note. So that also can be taken as input while building a prompt. So some of the key elements are listed here, guys, but not all. So these are the major elements you can say that will be taken as input while building a prompt. Remember that. Yeah. So that's it. Like key elements that we need to consider. Yeah. Now, uh, particular structure and format of a prompt contain transform a format. Why? For example, let us say
So,
we
is it
perform square
possible
minus 4
read
is by 2a. That is one of the best.
breaking again, sir? Can you please restart your modem and rejoin if possible?
And but I'm organized. Let me try to make. Yeah. Yeah.
Either screen visible also not clear for me. Is it clear with you?
I think for me, okay.
The fonts are not clearly visible for me.
It looks like there's an issue with this internet today.
Yeah, even for me, the images are a little blurry.
Oh, too much.
Mama, will take it.
Your voice also broke. Ramesh Mo.
Yeah. So is it better now, Sridhar?
It's fine now, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let us see for some time. So because if we talk continuously, right, then only we can see the effect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was trying to talk about what the factors or key elements, right? So that's what we discussed. After that, we started with structure and format of a prompt. Now let's understand some of the bullet points here. So transform it to a format. What some mathematical expression. Yeah. So we need to convert that to understandable format. Yeah. Because if you try to build a formula and give it to somebody, they may not be able to understand. So we need to define what target audience. Based on that, convert this mathematical formula to what other understandable format. Example, others, let's say they'll understand ours is what mathematical formula to a number so that they can understand clearly. You know? Guys, visual elements are less to improve visual presentation. So remember, guys, so usually if you take any data in warehousing, right, we expect a header and followed by data, but it's not the case here. Here, what visual, yeah, especially when we have what we call presentation or we whatever, right? For each of those types, we headers or heading name what we call we need to form a page contains architecture. That's one of the header. So based on that, we need to form a prompt over here. Yeah. So next, arrange the content in a different order. For example, let us say expect based on top in the sense first. So that case content we got other length number of words. For example, some customers they would expect the prompt result in form. Yeah. So short 20 characters, 100 characters, whatever. But some will expect what? So it all depends on expectation from so based on that we need to adjust the length. This also can be applied guys. We don't take care of GPT what GPT does. We just supply the input to GPT. The rest will be taken care by GPT. So generate to bits more specific. So that way we can build different versions while building a prompt. After that, we can come up with what? Fine-tuned. So that is going to be the base for taking a decision or building a solution. Yeah, to a different level. This is optional. If customer expects labels, language, language or NLS, native language support, this will be taken care by chatgpt. If trans content to German language, whatever, right? Right. Now arranging the data like chronological. So which means we want most recent to be in the top, one sort of chronological thing we do. Other way we go reverse chronological. So which means what? Depending upon how the customer expects the then we can form a structure and format of a prompt. Yeah. Now we have convert the content into a script for a video. Remember, guys, we just got some text. Yeah. So that's where we can convert this particular content to a video. For example, in ChatGPT, we have got now we what so that reachability will be if you have video the person who doesn't know any able to understand examples in it. So especially some English, if some non-English persons who watch understand what is happening in the video. Or a content in the what you call video, it is very much possible. Yeah. Now the next question, we can arrange the content into it with relevant column headers. Yeah. So which means what? Yeah, if this if customer form, then now we can have it. So which means content we are uh, array required. Yeah. So that's a form tone of a prompt. Yeah. Let's try and talk about basics here. After that, we'll get into to be more objective, not only adjective. So more verb also we need to consider. Adjective plus verb is going to be the right way to take care of this tone of a prompt, guys. Adjective plus verb. Yeah. So created a content, but it is not taken care with respect to adjective and verb. So those things we just so it lies to emphasize. So that's where this particular what you call tone of a prompt comes in. Yeah. So use take a different perspective. human person. Yeah. So this is an important thing actually, because what happens is we started out providing a prompt in one perspective, but we are not getting the result of what we expect. So what we could do here is we need to go with what different perspective. So you utilize the generic tone to deliver the content. The people who already have got the knowledge on tone, so they can just utilize it so that fine tuned. Yeah. So utilize the conventional tone to make the content more, or else if you try to give the content through which we can't relate, right? So it doesn't make uh, conversational tone comes in. Yeah. Then we also have to include as part of like a sensory information, figurative stuff, or emotional language to create experience, somewhat that. Yeah. So which means we need to start thinking of what I call not only that, we can also think many more. So sensory and also figurative language to create immersive experience. Yeah. So that's it. Now we can also see adopt a distinct voice, such as character, narrator, whatever, right? Content to reality, which is a life. Yeah. So which means if voice is understood, not only that, we can also narrate the story,
Sir,
which can suit for other voices, right?
with this intermittent breaking, I think we are unable to stay interested in today's session, sir. It's very intermittent, very
Fine.
continuous.
Here.
You're
Okay.
breaking badly
Okay.
today, sir. I don't know what's going on with your internet.
Yes, sir. It's
See
continuous
that. We'll meet
disturbance.
tomorrow.
Uh,
Yes, yes. There's some severe problem today because I'm not in that place actually. I'll make sure that. Uh, okay.
Okay, sir. No
Bye
problem.
to all guys.
Sure, sir.